Peace and blessings and namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. And I'm going to put emphasis on everything in between. Okay, so I'm going to take you back, okay, the day before the Lionsgate portal and after the Lionsgate portal, because I want to see if you see what I see. All right, now, first of all, Sunday. Let's start with Sunday. Sunday, I went on a mission to go and get a pedicure, to get my feet done, right? And some kind of way, I was lured to Shiva's temple, okay? And it's a temple out here that's about 35-40 minutes away from where I live. And of course, I wasn't dressed. I had on, heels and shorts and things of that nature. But for some reason, I found myself on a highway headed to Shiva's temple. So I go and I look at the temple, of course I'm not going to go in because, I have saris, but I wasn't dressed in sari. And I have priestess robes, but I wasn't dressed in that. So I didn't want to be inappropriate, so I went outside and I looked around the facility. I took my shoes off. I typically take my shoes off when I'm on what is considered sacred ground, So I took my shoes off on the earth, and I ended up seeing a statue of Shiva sitting in the grass. All right, the blue type of stone, had his hair all matted up and whatnot, and he was just in a meditative pose. And I decided to meditate and sit directly in front of him and meditate during that time too, while there were ceremonies that was going on inside the temple. I think I am going to visit to figure out what it is that they do in there, for those of us who are ascended masters. This is typically what we do. Okay, we go around, we study other spiritual systems, and we take what's necessary out of it, and we're very multi-diverse, multicultural when it comes down to things like that. And I've traced my lineage all the way back to India, so I'm okay with it, right? So I'm sitting in front of Shiva, and then I put my hands in the dirt, and all of this energy came up, and I said, okay, something's getting ready to really happen on this 8/8 portal, and I am so excited. So I started to prepare, for cleansing my space, cleansing my energy, sending out prayers of healing and things like that for our family members who are walking, the earth's journeys and getting caught up in things and this, that, and the third. And when the 8/8 portal came, I went ahead. I went into my prayers for those who needed prayer, healing, cleansing, if they're trying to get back on track, I was purging negative energy out, from my space, my family, my friends, all of the collective who have been struggling about something. And while I was doing that, and I started to witness again the Jacob's Ladder, okay? And the Jacob's Ladder was a lot of some souls, that were integrating into the earth during this time, and some souls was actually de-escalating, like, oh my God, I don't know what some people have been doing with their time, but it really, really put them in a lower vibration, like a lower energy. And I was watching them descend, and I felt like crying, because I felt so bad for some of these souls, that were operating backwards. And when the new souls were coming in, I found myself like teaching, okay, teaching these souls how to navigate these realms, trying to keep their memories, so when they come in, they know that they're fresh with their assignments, okay? There were 3 sets of souls that were integrating during this time. Some of them were going to be born, okay? Some of them were going to be swapped out, and some of them were going to lose their way. Okay, now, this is what I have observed, and this is what I have been being told. The ones that were going to come in as babies and be born during this time, they were going to be very, very enlightened, highly enlightened beings. And a lot of them, some of them are actually going to lose their way. Okay, they're going to lose their path for a season. And that season is kind of designed to give them a whole bunch of experience, all right, and to understand the dualistic nature that was going on in that lower realm. So, but then at the end, they were all going to get purified. They're going to come back into themselves, and these are they who are going to operate as sages and gurus and spiritual teachers. They're like universal teachers, okay? There are some that are going to be swapped out, that have been swapped out because the abandoning of, you know, the contract, or they're needing a specific spirit to come in and pick up where somebody else dropped the ball. Okay, so they were coming in, but when they come in, they're already going to be activated as well, but they're going to remember what the mission is. It's like they're going to pick right up where the other energy left off. So if there was an energy that had incarnated on this earth and they had a specific mission to do, and say they failed in the assignment, or they went another path, or whatever they did, that soul was snatched and another spirit was coming in, and it's kind of like they're going to pick right back up where the other one left off. Okay, and then that one, the one that dropped the ball, has to go through another reincarnation, another cycle, right? I got to see, oh boy, it was a lot. I'm trying to condense it into a small little video for y'all. I also got to see and understand how some of your enemies, okay, some of your enemies look, what they look like in the astral realm. When they're on the earth and they're operating on the earth and they're feeding off of your fear, like, in other words, they're magnifying themselves to be a lot stronger and more powerful than what they actually are. And because of this, when you give them energy, when you start giving them fear, when you start, you know, becoming worried about them, that's when they start to grow. But in their natural form, I started seeing them like little, like these were, I was standing over looking over my enemies and was like, I'm scared of this, you know. And that's why that's why I'm telling y'all, please have no fear. Please have no fear. The fear is the fear. Okay, once you get rid of the fear, trust me, it's not going to be a problem, right? So I was looking, and I even tried to keep manifesting them in their human form, because I could see the regular face, but the bodies was like, I don't know, crab looking like. And like, it was just really, really weird how they were manifesting in the other realms. Very, very small. I mean, like the height was to my foot type of thing. And I was looking down and going, oh my God, they have no idea what they're up against when it comes down to you light workers, when it comes down to you light warriors. They have no idea what they're up against. As I was watching souls ascend, you know, and praying for their ascensions, you know, and helping usher some souls upward, okay, I myself went through another ascension too. And I'm not going to tell you about the new gifts or power that I received, because I need to first understand it. Okay, like, I got a lot of glimpses of it. I know now that operating in fearlessness is an understatement. Okay, I'm not the same again. Okay, so once again I went through another ascension. I did not go through ascension the last time because I was too busy helping others ascend. Okay, but this time I was forced into an ascension myself. Okay, after I was done, I seen a lot of souls, like a lot of souls in white and in crowns and things of that nature. And some of you have ascended. Like, if you have mastered some of your lessons here on earth, if you have learned how to alchemize some things, many of you have actually ascended to sit as judges, like on councils. Okay, and I've seen more of that coming in. I also witnessed, like, the very next day, like after the 8/8 portal, I took a picture of the sky. I have never seen anything so perfect, so bright. I mean, it looked like a painting. Okay, it didn't even look real. So I couldn't tell. I'm like, okay, did we actually go to another realm? You know, why does the sky, it has actually been looking this perfect for 3 days now. You know, three days now. Perfect skies, perfect sun, perfect trees, deers coming out. I got to see a gopher, or maybe it was a groundhog. It's so far away, but you know, they're coming up behind. They're mingling with humans. It's very interesting to see. I actually got into somewhat of a battle, okay, with another energy that was feminine energy that was in shadow mode. Okay, I couldn't see her. She could see me. I was in light body form, And behind me was a lot of light bodies too. Like it was a whole bunch of us like standing in the group, and I was standing in front of this group because whatever shadow feminine this was targeting me, and they had weapons. And I remember seeing that they had weapons, and I didn't have any weapons. I didn't need any weapons, okay? Because the light body can send out a frequency that dissolves the darkness, okay? So I didn't need a weapon of any kind. I was just in light body form. And this queen was coming towards me to fight me, and she was saying that I was weak, and she was saying that I was forgiving people that I shouldn't be forgiving, and she was saying that this was the time that we were supposed to show ourselves strong. She was saying that why we kept giving passes to masculines, you know, and was pointing out like a lot of the divine feminine's tears and frustrating and things like that. And I was in agreement with her, okay? And I told her, you know, we're going to make this right for the divine feminines that have been targeted, that have been hurt, that have been damaged. You know, we're going to make this right. But that wasn't enough for her. She actually wanted to stand in a seat of power to make these changes herself. And as I started walking towards her and she started walking towards me, we were the same height, we had the same crown, we looked alike, and then I realized, oh my God, I am facing my duality. And this is the first time I actually had to go through this. Like, I have seen my shadow before. I have talked to my shadow before. I have counseled many shadow beings before. But this was the first time I was actually getting ready to go into warfare. Okay? Now, some of you have sent me a text message saying that you have experienced something similar, but you ran, or you became afraid of it. I'm telling you that you're not. When you see it in the astral realm, they're so small, it's so weak compared to you, that I'm inspiring you now. For those who, it's two of y'all who told me that you saw yourself in shadow form or ether form or dark form, and you became very intimidated. They're not here to hurt you, okay? Now listen, or they can't hurt you. Even if they did try, they can't, okay? So when she came up to me, I started seeing that she was matching my energy, my movements, everything. And she was ready to fight me, to try to destroy my whole light self, okay? I told her, now behind her was some shadow beings themselves. And I said, wait, we're just going to talk this out, okay? I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge right now. I want to know how many agree with her and how many agree with me. So I started seeing some of the shadow beings cross over into the light. That was like, okay, we want the balance, okay, we want the healing of the divine masculines. And then I saw some light beings going over to the dark and was like, we don't want that. We're ready for the divine feminine to reign. After I got done talking, those that crossed over into the shadow ended up coming back, and then she started losing more and more shadow support. At that time, this is when she went into an all-out attack, and she wanted to go kick me, you know, like in my stomach. And I remember grabbing her by her throat. Like, this was I grabbed her by her throat and I swallowed her. I know what you're thinking, because I can't consciously think why I would do something like that either. And the light beings behind me was gasping like, oh my God, why would you do that? Why would you take that on into yourself? And I saw my aura actually start to go from white to a gray to a dark with white speckles. Like, I was going through all of these changes, but I was still myself. I was still balanced. I was still light. But when I turned around and I looked at the light beings, they became afraid, you know. So some of them started backing up, and I was like, have no fear. I said, this is how I am purifying this energy. Okay, I have brought it unto myself because the light is going to permeate through the darkness. Then they said, well, how do you know that the darkness won't permeate through the light? And I said, because light came from darkness. It's birth. It cannot retract back. Okay, so when you get, then I showed them a vision of the Ein Sof and how light started to emanate out of the ethers, out of the darkness, and it took on a power on its own. Okay, and it cannot retract. It's like a child being born trying to go back into the womb. It can't retract. So I said, have no fear. I'm doing this because I need to balance out this equation right now. Okay, and we're all going to be okay. So as I started to talk and started to talk to some of these souls that were coming in and started to minister some of the souls that had fell, I started purifying my energy and I turned back into my full light body again. Okay, but it took a minute to go through because I had to do it. There were some energies that were so fragmented in their minds that we actually had to put them in healing chambers. Okay, and healing chambers was like this sphere that, or no, it was this cube that I created, and many of you, light workers and light warriors in your astral bodies were sitting in meditation, and you were pushing energy to some of these beings that were fragmented in the mind and purging out the black goo, like it was coming out of them. It was coming out of them. They were screaming, they were crying. So some of them we were able to save and purify. Some of them just had to fall. What I wanted to specify with you, because some of the light beings that were talking to me about, when I said that, when I took the darkness in and purified it from within, they were asking, like, why is the darkness even necessary? Like, why is this duality necessary? Why do we have to have this balance? Why can't everything just be good? And I explained to them like I'm getting ready to explain to you. Okay? And this is the truth of the matter of it. When we're talking about evolution, when we're talking about change, okay, when we're talking about ascending to higher states of consciousness and things like that, I want you to consider in your mind what a perfect world would look like. Okay, everybody's happy, everybody's at peace, everybody's in joy, everybody's in love, everything is working for you, right? Now I want you to ask yourself, how does one evolve? All right, now I'm talking about balance and opposition. I'm not talking about evil. Do not get them mixed up. Okay, I'm talking about natural opposition, obstacles. These things have to take place, and the reason why they have to take place is simply because of this. Man's mind has to, and their consciousness has to evolve, and the only way to do it is through problem solving, overcoming obstacles, expansion. Okay, if everything is the same, it's stagnant energy. All right, you can live in peace and harmony, but you won't go any farther. No new ideas will come through. You will not expand. You only do these things when you are met with opposition. Okay, so when you get opposition, now you have to tap into a realm of thought that you previously didn't have. And the reason why you didn't have it previously is because you never had to face opposition. So now that you have an opposition or an obstacle in front of you, it forces the mind, it forces the intellect, it forces the consciousness, the soul, the spirit to seek solutions that is beneficial for not only yourself, but humanity. And that's how you continue to evolve. All right, so it's not a matter of good and evil. Sometimes it's simply a matter of obstacles, problem solving. Okay, things of that nature that have to come your way to force the mind to expand beyond what it was normally used to dealing with. All right, so when these things come, I mean, think about it. Even when you were in elementary school, you was taught problem solving skills. When you could not reach a book that was high on a shelf, you learned how to take a chair or something and stand up on it to get it. Okay, but if everything was right there, you wouldn't have known other uses for these things. All right, so all of these things were designed for mankind to reach a pinnacle of understanding and to continue to evolve. And not only just mankind, but other sentient life forms too. We're talking about the angelics. We're talking about the starseeds, okay? We're dealing with people, I personally, and some of you who are called to this journey are responsible for helping to teach these elves, okay? Helping them gain a better understanding. Helping humanity gain a better understanding so you can realize how easy it is to really navigate these realms. Learning problem solving and learning how to do that with righteous thought. Okay? Keeping your vibration high and jovial. Once you have the understanding that all this is an obstacle and all I need to do is figure out how to overcome this obstacle, then you can laugh in the face of your adversity. All right? And besides, they're small. They're really, really small. And when I saw it, I felt ashamed because I had magnified some of these dark workers or enemies like to something that they really were not. We could literally step on them. Do you understand? But like I said, making yourself grandiose and big. I'm sitting here like, come at me now, please. Please, give me a reason. Right? Give me a reason. Tell them, give me a reason. Now, shout out to unavailable almost everywhere. Okay? Ima in Texas started her YouTube channel. Okay? Go and support her. She's nervous, but she's speaking her truth by the way that she sees it. She's thinking for herself. Okay, so unavailable almost everywhere. Continue to support Master Kokoro. I'm telling you, he's a very powerful light warrior. Okay, he understands that chi energy. It flows through him like nobody's business, and I can tap into it long distance. All right, many of you are starting to really come out, but I told you that you were going to come out anyway. All right, just understand that the battles and the obstacles that you're facing are only appearing to be magnified. In reality, they're very, very small. Very, very small. And that is the reason why we have problems and obstacles. Okay, it's not the reason why we have evil. But I will tell you this: the bigger you magnify an obstacle, the bigger the challenge will become to you. And sometimes it can take that dark path. Okay, that's a perversion of the free will. All right. Now, to many of you, I want to just throw this out there. I have learned some serious things. So I'm going to be sending out emails to you for another Zoom meeting. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to overcome these obstacles. I'm going to show you how to really deal with spiritual warfare. And I'm not talking about just fighting. I'm not talking about fighting. I'm talking about the ability to transmute everything that has been thrown your way by using a higher law and more effective. Okay, your ancestors are here and they are strong. Okay, they are here and they are strong, and some of them are goons. I'm just going to let you know. I don't want to use the term goons. Okay, but I've met some of my spirit team who are just no nonsense. Like, I can forgive somebody, but they're like, we ain't forgiving nothing. Okay, so shout out to all of you who went through that ascension. I am proud of you. Look at the skies. Look at your earth. Okay. If you feel like there's a newness of spirit, if you feel like you're urged to do something, you feel like you're ready to break out of the shell, go ahead and do it. Pay attention to your emails in the next couple of days. All right. I'm going to break down exactly what it is that I want to teach you, what it is that I have experienced and learned. Okay. These past 3 days, and how you can use it to manifest what you need to be successful. I am Sophie. Congratulations. I love you all. Bye.